Hello, Fusation. My name is Alex Fuse, the host of Fusion News. Today is January 21st, 24th, 2018. My name is Alex Fuse, the host of the show. Are you a subscriber of Fusion News? And if not, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button right now to join the Fuse Nation. And once we hit 600 subscribers, I will be giving away 2 New York Yankee regular season tickets. So stay tuned for that. My next guest on tonight's show, New England Patriot reporter Lee Schechter. Lee, big news coming out of Tom Brady's wife, Giselle, is possibly trying to talk Tom Brady and his friends to get him to retire. Is this a story that we should be talking about, or is this kind of like another report, just like the 2 reports we've heard in the past few weeks about Tom Brady and the Patriots?
Well, there's always going to be buzz around the Patriots, especially this time of year. They can't seem to avoid any of this speculative news going on right now. That Giselle has tried to talk Tom into retirement. We know that with the discussion when Tom said that he's never had a concussion, and that led to a whole other little dive into whether Tom Brady's had a concussion, and then Giselle, she wishes he was at the sport. So we're seeing it all come up again. Yes, Tom Brady is 40 years old now, about to be the oldest quarterback in the Super Bowl. It's going to keep coming up because he's an old player. I mean, oldest guy in the league. It's going to happen nonstop. I don't know how much merit necessarily there is to it right now, because I think we all know that Tom Brady's pretty much his own individual. While he obviously, respects what his wife Giselle has to say, Tom, and I'll be curious to see what happens, especially in his documentary thing that's coming out, where we get to kind of see a deeper dive into what makes Tom Brady. Passion for the game. The guy loves it as much as he did when he was 25 years old. And I don't know if Giselle is going to be able to talk him into leaving that passion out there when he still has some good years left in him.
Mm-hmm. So you say he has a few good years left in him, and that leads me to my next question. I know we can't really look into a crystal ball, read what Tom Brady's thinking. I wish we could, otherwise we would all be great quarterbacks. Do you feel like if Tom Brady wins his 6th Super Bowl ring this upcoming season, that maybe, just maybe, he will retire? And if he does retire, lead the Patriots like next season? Because I feel like the Patriots don't believe Tom Brady is ready to retire, because they would have to hold on to Jimmy Garoppolo then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've had this discussion a few times. I think that to retire, the team would be knowing about this. This isn't some all of a sudden ride off into the sunset situation. Guys like Ray Lewis who did it, Peyton Manning, we kind of saw the writing on the wall a little bit. With Tom Brady, they would have never got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo if there was even a remote possibility of Tom ending his career after the 6th Super Bowl. So I think that really tells the story right there. Tom isn't going to hang us up. He does have, so I mean, whether it's 1, 2, could be more than that. I mean, who really knows? The guy keeps defeating Father Time. So I don't think there really is some magical plan right now where Tom's actually going to just suddenly retire, because if he does retire, leaving the Patriots in a pretty rough situation. Well, that's not on Tom Brady. You could hear the rumblings. Fans won't like if he just suddenly leaves and all of a sudden, obviously Jimmy Garoppolo is out in San Francisco, and it's wondering, well, who the heck is going to play quarterback for the Patriots? They're going to have to draft someone, or Brian Hoyer stepping up next year. And I just don't really see that being the case.
Mm-hmm. Lee, we'll switch gears now. In about a week and a half from right now, the Super Bowl will be playing and the Philadelphia Eagles. What can we expect from that game, and what Patriots will be playing and who won't be playing?
Well, it's actually a fantastic matchup. I think it's one of the tougher matchups for the Patriots overall anyway. The depth of the Philadelphia Eagles defensive line is, I mean, they are great at the top with Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, Chris Long. I mean, there's just a bunch of good, solid players in there. Benny Logan, all these guys who just can be out there throughout the game, but they're also rotating in other guys who are really, really good. What the Patriots like to do, and the reason why they pulled off that 25-point comeback last year, wear teams down throughout the game. Their goal is to be a second-half team where they're wearing out your defensive line, they're wearing out your secondary. Advantage of that as the game goes on. That's why we see them pull off these fourth-quarter wins and comebacks. They're tiring out the other team while also sticking to their game plan. And as crazy as it sounds, I'm not saying they try to lose early on and then come back, but they're always prepared to come back to win. Such a tough matchup. And on top of that, if Nick Foles comes out and he's Nick Foles, I mean, we saw what he did last week. He was fantastic out there. And as for guys who are going to play and not play, really the biggest one to monitor right now is Rob Gronkowski. I mean, that concussion, bad hit, we all saw, obviously concussed. He's on the list right now. They didn't practice today, but if they were to practice, Gronk would have been held out. He's in the protocol. We don't really know the severity of that right now, but he's the main guy to monitor. I would expect him to play in the Super Bowl. It would be a real shame to see Gronk miss yet another Super Bowl. I think that would be painful for him, painful for the Patriots, painful for fans. You want to see the best players out there. Other ones to monitor would definitely be Rex Burkhead, who took that hit and kind of hasn't really been the same ever since taking a hit to area. I don't know at this point whether we'll really see him or not. I think that the goal would be to have him out there, but those are the two main guys right now of who we're worried about. And then, meanwhile, Tom Brady's hand's not even listed anymore. So I think that's a crazy one. You have this giant cut on your hand. We get some photos of it, and all of a sudden, he's not even on there anymore. Obviously, he was going to play, though.
Yeah, definitely. And the Eagles have some former Patriots. How will that play into this upcoming Super Bowl matchup?
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting storyline because LeGarrette Blount was such a focal point of the offense with the power run game that he knows probably when that power run game is coming, even though it doesn't have the same form that it had last year because Deion Lewis isn't quite the same runner as Blount. But he can provide some insight to the offense, absolutely. They do some things similarly when they start to run tempo, power running game. And then with Chris Long, it's interesting with him, too. I mean, he was only in New England for 1 year, but he's one smart guy and a smart player. This is some of what the Patriots offense likes to do and how that defensive line can attack those offensive linemen. Offensive line, there's really no one who's playing that Chris Long isn't at least familiar with at all. I mean, Ladrian Waddle probably didn't get to play a ton, so that might be the only guy that he's not like super familiar with. But Chris Long might know some of the offensive line's tendencies because he was going up against these guys in practice all of last year, that he could give some tips. I mean, it's a real storyline out there.
Have you sat down and made a prediction for this upcoming game yet or not yet?
I'm close. I was talking about that today, actually. One of my friends and coworkers is a diehard Eagles fan, and he's telling me the Eagles are obviously going to blow out the Patriots. And another one of my coworkers is also by 10. I was talking with them, and I said right now, and this isn't my definitive prediction yet, but what I was saying was 20-17 Patriots. I think it's going to be a real hard-fought game. I think that Eagles have a very good defense. It's going to be who makes a mistake later on, and I'm going to go with Nick Foles making that mistake over Tom Brady. But who knows?
Lee, before I wrap up this Fusion News interview, I'm going to ask you a very complicated question. I know usually in interviews we try to wrap up with an easy question, but here's a question that is kind of loaded. Do you feel like the discourse between Tom Brady, Bill Belichick really did want to get rid of Tom Brady this year, kind of like what he did with Bledsoe, and have Jimmy Garoppolo be that starter quarterback going forward and be the future of the franchise?
Man, that is probably one of the most complicated questions ever. No, I think that what happened was they wanted to keep both and they just ran out of time. And when it came down to it, I think that Robert Kraft in that secret meeting of the Holy Trinity, we need to trade Tom Brady right now. And I don't think Belichick said, I want to trade Tom Brady right now. I don't think anything like that happened. I think they really laid out the possibilities. This is such an analytical franchise. All of their actions, they have trust in each other. That's the reason why they are the most dominant NFL organization that we've ever seen over a span of years since the Packers did it in the early Lions and Browns and Bears, teams like that. I mean, the Patriots, what they're doing in modern football is so incredible. So I just don't really think that there was ever a moment where someone said, I want to trade Tom Brady, and I don't think Bill Belichick did that. Best quarterback in the game, best quarterback of all time, who's still playing at the same caliber that he was at when he was 38 years old, that he was at when he was 35 years old. We haven't seen that Tom Brady decline yet. Sure, it's going to be coming. He's 40 years old. Is the real deal and one of my favorite quarterbacks out there. I think he's going to be fantastic in the league. But unfortunately, just sometimes time doesn't align and you have to reassess.
Mm-hmm. I want to say thank you again for coming on my show today. Where can the Patriots Nation and Fuse Nation follow you on Twitter and read your Patriot articles?
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Lee Schechter. That's where you can get most of my stuff at the moment, but you'll see me popping up on people's podcasts, and I try to keep a Twitter presence out there. You can ask me anything on there.
Perfect. All right. Thanks again, Lee, for coming on tonight.
All right. Thanks again, Alex.
All right, Fuse Nation, just heard it from Patriot reporter Lee Schechter. We talked the discourse between Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft and what he thought of that. We talked the Tom Brady and Giselle drama, and that's now brewing in Foxborough. We talked the upcoming Super Bowl matchup between the Patriots and the Eagles. We talked a lot more details on Gronkowski's injury, and do the Patriots feel like he will be ready in the big matchup between the Patriots and Eagles in a few weeks? Thanks again for watching. Be a subscriber of Fusion News. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will be seeing you very soon with another live episode. Thanks for watching. Be kind to one another. Have a great night.